Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. Now, here's John Truman Wolfe.
Hi, folks. John Truman Wolfe here with the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour on a gorgeous Thursday afternoon. Gorgeous in the sense that if you enjoy living in an oven up here in the mountains north of L.A., and it is seriously hot, but pretty. Okay, off to the day's financial statistics. Things, some of the investment world not having a good day. Dow Jones 33 ends 33,823, off a couple hundred points, 210. S&P off a couple, 42.21. But the NASDAQ was up 121, ended at 14,161. Equities markets mixed, nothing really exciting there, particularly. Where you do get the excitement, I'm not sure excitement's the right word, but the precious metals markets have been hammered. I mean, hammered. Gold's been down 4 of the last 5 days. Ended today at 1777, off 37 bucks. Now, if you look at the gold graph and if you follow that market, you know that it was up in the low 1900s a few days ago, 1903, 1902, and starting, there were starting to be news releases talking about gold getting back to 2000. Precious metals investors getting excited, and then wham, it started down. And yesterday, with the excuse of Jerome Powell's statements, it went bam, bam, bam. If you watch the graph, it was down, and then it held for a little bit, and then it was down some more, and then it was down some more. So what's all the Jerome Powell stuff, the chairman of the Fed? Folks, there are people on Wall Street that drink this Kool-Aid, not only on Wall Street, but elsewhere. And, most of you know, I presume, who owns the Fed? Who owns the Fed? The Fed is owned by the New York banks. They are the ones that have the stock in the Federal Reserve Bank, not the U.S. government, not you and I. They're printing our money, but hey, New York bankers own the Fed. And who owns the New York banks? That's another story that'll trace us back to the Bank of England, but I'm not going to get into that right now. My point is that Jerome Powell does what his owners tell him to do. And so he talks yesterday about the fact that inflation is transitory. Transitory. I mean, a 5-year-old would know better. If you have money printing, or whether it's being printed or just being injected into an economy, in excess of the goods and services available to buy, you're going to get inflation. I'm going to talk about that some more because it's a hot subject in the news, and it should be a hot subject for your portfolios when we come back. So I'm John Truman Wolfe. This is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us.
When you invest, what do you need? Investors need foresight and prediction so they can invest with confidence. Is the stock market going up and down? What about precious metals or Bitcoin? The stock market may be treading water right now, but now may be a more opportune time to invest in precious metals. Are gold and silver booming? What do you buy? Bullion? Mining stocks? Which ones? The cryptocurrency market is also advancing strongly, but which ones do you buy? John Truman Wolfe, former banker and #1 best-selling author, gives you the answers in his widely read newsletter, Strategic Financial Intelligence, available at strategicfinancialintelligence.com. Wolfe called the breakout of the gold market and the breakout of the silver market. He may not have a crystal ball, but his investment picks tell a story. Metals and digital currencies are on the move. Don't miss out. Go to strategicfinancialintelligence.com and get the Strategic Financial Intelligence newsletter today. strategicfinancialintelligence.com.
All right, folks, we're back. John Truman Wolfe here, talking about Jerome Powell's comments yesterday that trashed the precious metals markets, although they had been falling before that. So we don't blame the entire rout on him. But what I was talking about was his comments that inflation is transitory. Now, I've given this example before, but I'm going to do it again for those of you that are new joining us. Inflation is basically more money in circulation than there are goods and services. The example that I use is if there's 20 people sitting in a room, and I'm at the head of the room and I've got an orange and everybody's thirsty or hungry or they like the orange, and everybody in the room's got a buck in their pocket. So that money will bid for the orange, okay? And likely the orange will sell for $1 unless there's some kind of merger between participants and two people join and bid $2 or something. Being a little silly, but you get the idea. What will drive the price of the orange is the amount of money in circulation. To reduce the amount of money, the price of the orange will go. Expand the amount of money. Let's say everybody's got $100 in their pocket. The price of the orange isn't rocket science, folks. So when Jerome Powell is pumping trillions, and I challenge you to go to your computer and look up what $1 trillion is. I think it's 15 zeros, but what it means in terms of an amount of money, it's a huge number. And they're pumping trillions, plural, into the economy. And so we start getting news reports, price of this is up, price of that's up. I mean, timber, I think, went out the roof. I live in the Republic of California. The price of gas here is eye-watering. And other things are going up as well. The press release I read quoted an inflation figure they're now, quote, admitting of, I think, 3.2%. But bear in mind that the government changed the factors or the commodities that were included in inflation to keep that number appearing low. Prices are going up, folks. They're going up because there's money being injected into the economy. And while the economy is, coming and the creek don't rise, production is occurring. People are going back to work, etc. The amount of money being injected into the economy far exceeds the goods and services available, and that will and is driving prices up. So it's not transitory. It's transitory only if production spikes and starts eating up, the buying of goods and services start eating up that extra money. But his comment that inflation is transitory, he also said that he wasn't going to increase any interest rates until 2023. So that's 2 years from now. Apparently, previously he had said 2024. I had read, different predictions, so I'm not sure what he said when, other than yesterday, he said 2023. So this was supposed to, at least according to the press, the reason why the precious metals markets went down, because he's going, well, we're not going to increase in a couple of years. And that is one element that usually drives the price of precious metals up. So he's going, well, we'll use interest rates for a couple of years, and those markets tanked. They've started to recover, but they got some ground to make up because, as I said, gold had been trading in the low, very low 1900s. So we're off. What is that? $130, $123 in the last few days in the price of gold. Silver down as well, but has not been hit like gold. Silver off. Let's see. They closed today at 26. It closed today 26.06 off a $1.05. But silver's still holding strongly in that mid-20 range. It had been up, as high as 28, I think 28.05, and is now down to 26.06. So it's off $2, which is a lot. That's 10%, but it's holding there in the mid-20s. And you've heard me before. I'll say it again. I like silver. I think it's a great buying opportunity. And if you're a gold person, I think in both cases it's a great buying opportunity. But that's your precious metals quote. Over to the cryptos. Bitcoin 37,669, off a couple percent in the last 24 hours. Look, you want to get into a volatile market where you can make good money, but you have to ride a bucking bronco, jump into the crypto market. Bitcoin has been toying with 40,000 for the last, few weeks. It was up to about 40,600, 40,005 something last night, and has fallen. It was yesterday sometime, the last 24 hours. But it teased the investors. Okay, good. Well, it's broken 40,000. It's trading in the high 30s, 37, 38, 39, 37, back, forth. Then it breaks 40, appears to be to having recovered from what has been essentially a down market in the cryptos for the last 2-3 weeks, and then it gets hit. So 37,669 for the Godfather Bitcoin, Ether 2337, also off a couple percent in the last 24 hours. I suppose if I had to pick one crypto in which I would invest and look to hold for the future, it would be Ether. Trading again at 23, closed the day, didn't close the day because those markets don't close. When I looked at it before the show, 2337, off a couple points. RXP at 83 cents. And the other cryptos that I follow and talk about on the show from time to time, ones that I own, include Cardano, which is down under $1.50. Tron down around. And that's what's going on with the crypto markets. I'm John Truman Wolfe. This is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us.
For the getaway of your dreams, come to Hawaii's Playground, Ka'anapali Beach Resort, on the fun side of Maui, where the world comes to play. Find your spot on Kaanapali Beach with 3 miles of white sand, 12 resort properties, 2 golf courses, and 2 shopping centers. Enjoy the playground of Hawaii's ancient royalty. Kaanapali Beach Resort is Hawaii's original master planned destination resort and home of the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. With views of 2 neighboring islands, you can breathe in the land's natural beauty from your favorite resort or golf fairway. Come experience Kaanapali's own special brand of Hawaiian hospitality with world-class dining, relaxing resorts, water sports, and activities of every kind. For romantic, family, and great friend getaways, discover the options of Kaanapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play. Plan your getaway today. Visit kaanapaliresort.com. That's KAANAPALI resort.com.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. That's 800-633-1378.
All right, folks, we're back. John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour, coming to you from the beautiful Los Padres National Forest north of Los Angeles, where it is smoking hot today. We're talking about the cryptos as we cut away for the break. A big story today was the crash of a DeFi crypto called Titan. DeFi is short for decentralized finance, which basically means with cryptos away from government interference or banking regulations, etc. And there's a lot of that going on, and there are software programs that facilitate that. You deposit cryptos in an online crypto bank, they lend it out, you get paid interest. It's the same drill, except it's crypto, and you don't have the government or some bank telling you what to do. It's very simple. You put your crypto in, it gets lent out or whatever. Now, this is the wild, wild west of investing, and we have talked. I don't like to beat it to death, but I'll make the point again. It's a very volatile market. The market is volatile as hell. So there's this DeFi crypto called Titan, and it gets a spike going back a few days from none other than Mark Cuban, who's he's a big guy in cryptos. This is a guy who a few years back called crypto a bubble, but he's been in recent months very involved in cryptos, as well as NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which we've talked about, digital art online. Anyway, he was a big supporter of this crypto, and it was trading a couple of days ago. But timing maybe it was 3 days ago. It was trading around $29, and Cuban comes out and promotes it, and it soars. Now Mark Cuban is the he's a brand. He's a billionaire, and people listen to him. Doesn't mean he doesn't have his warts, and it doesn't mean that everything he picks goes to the moon, because in this case, he promotes it. He talks about it positively, about DeFi, decentralized finance, particular crypto, is from $29 to 65, virtually overnight. May have taken a couple of days, and then it crashes. It just crashes down to less than a penny. And Cuban was actually interviewed on one of the talking heads. I can't remember what station, and he said, it hurt a bit. This is a billionaire. This guy's got a big crypto portfolio. So he was, he wasn't moaning, but he said it hurt. So whatever he had in there, whatever anybody had in that crypto, got wiped out, essentially. I think I glanced at a price. I think what I saw was a half a cent is where it wound up. That figure may not be exactly accurate, but it was less than a penny, let's put it that way, from $65. So you want to talk about viability, you want to talk about risk. If you rode this thing up from a few cents to $65, you're like licking your chops. You're like on the top of the world. You're like, whoa. And then, boom, the bottom falls out of it. There's some kind of negative comment. People start selling, others start selling. And this also highlights one of the liabilities of the cryptocurrency market, which I don't like at all. And that is that opinion leaders drive the price of, certain cryptos. The great example is Dogecoin, where Elon Musk, promotes it. It went from a penny or less than a penny, and went way up. And then people point out that Dogecoin was a joke. It was founded as a joke. And so it had gone up, I think, to $65, 60 some odd dollars, around that. And then as the negative PR started, it fell. I think the price fell in half to 30 something, which is about where it is now. We'll come back and talk about Dogecoin and the PR and cryptos when we come back. I'm
Fred Dreyer here. Join me at the Ramp Bar and Grill in Burbank, California. Now open with indoor dining. Monday through Thursday, noon to 9, Friday, noon to 10, and Saturday, 4 to 10. Happy hour weekdays from 2 to 7 p.m. It's the home of the $5 margarita, by the way. Start with mouth-watering charbroiled chicken nachos. The best cheesy garlic bread in town, steamed clams and delicious soups and fresh salads. The best burgers in town. And steaks? Oh, you bet. Yum. Ribeye, filet, even prime rib. Italian specialties too. Ravioli, linguine, capellini, pomodoro, chicken parmesan, and a lot more. Save room for desserts too, including homemade cheesecake. It's the Ramp Bar and Grill, 7730 North Hollywood Way, minutes from Burbank Airport. Call 818-768-6499. Takeout and Postmates delivery too. Reserve your tables now. Call 818-768-6499.
When you really want Italian food, you have got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Citizens, no need now to clamor for culinary gustatorial delights. Dreams do come true. Columbo's has triumphantly reopened its golden doors to feed the famished and soothe the savage beast. Bask in the delights of Columbo's succulent steaks, Neptune's superior offerings from the seven seas, Columbo's family Italian specialties, and of course, their world-famous meatballs, and it's all so affordable. Yes, Columbo's, the ninth wonder of the world, the Southern California pantheon dedicated to unrivaled and unparalleled yum-yum. Columbo's, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, mangia bene.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. That's 800-378-3212.
When you invest, what do you need? Investors need foresight and prediction so they can invest with confidence. Is the stock market going up and down? What about precious metals or Bitcoin? The stock market may be treading water right now, but now may be a more opportune time to invest in precious metals. Are gold and silver booming? What do you buy? Bullion? Mining stocks? Which ones? The cryptocurrency market is also advancing strongly, but which ones do you buy? John Truman Wolfe, former banker and #1 best-selling author, gives you the answers in his widely read newsletter, Strategic Financial Intelligence, available at strategicfinancialintelligence.com. Wolfe called the breakout of the gold market and the breakout of the silver market. He may not have a crystal ball, but his investment picks tell a story. Metals and digital currencies are on the move. Don't miss out. Go to strategicfinancialintelligence.com and get the Strategic Financial Intelligence newsletter today. strategicfinancialintelligence.com.
And we're back, folks. John Truman Wolfe here. John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. We're talking cryptos. And not just cryptos, but an aspect of that investment area that bugs me. And that is that, noteworthy opinion leaders say something positive or negative about a crypto, and it drives the price dramatically up or down. I mentioned, which is almost famous at this point, Elon Musk's promotion of Dogecoin, driving it very high. I think people who joined him in that, I think Mark Cuban joined him in that, Snoop Dogg. It's some opinion leader making some comment. I mean, his comment seemed almost as a joke. But they can drive the price of these things. And, I'm more of a mind that what should drive the price of them is demand based on utility and the products they deliver. And I mean, there's some of these cryptos that do some really world-class stuff. It's why I'm a fan of Cardano. It's why I'm a fan of XRP. These cryptos represent products and services that are cool. When you take some coin, really do anything or represent anything or has no value, and promote it like a carnival barker, and it drives the price up, it's like, it makes the market appear unprofessional. And that's really, an unprofessional action, in my opinion. So anyway, this crypto called Titan that Mark Cuban had promoted, after his promotion, it went from $29, and it had started down, if I'm not mistaken, in the pennies. But at the point where he was promoting DeFi, which is cool, decentralized finance, which is finance being conducted in the cryptocurrency world without bank and government regulations, if you know what you're doing there, is, can be very, very cool. And we can talk about that in depth in another show. But my point is, Cuban was promoting DeFi and this particular coin that represented a DeFi service. And he issues a big promotional thing on the currency, on the crypto, when it's at $29. I'm repeating myself, but just so you get a picture of it, it goes from $29 to $65. Now, let's say you invested $1,000 in Titan when it was a penny. You get the idea? So you're now you're rich. At $29 you're rich. At $65 you're like, oh boy. And then it crashes because there is nothing substantial behind it other than some opinion leader's opinion. And I think it's a lesson for Mark Cuban. I haven't seen his interview, but he was apparently interviewed by one of the financial news networks, and was talking about he hadn't done his homework and so forth. But however much he had invested in that particular crypto is gone. Zip, boom. So, you want you want to buy a crypto that represents something of value, and you can look at the graphs on these things at CoinMarketCap.com, which those of you that are new to crypto, that's really the best website because it shows all the cryptos. It gives all kinds of information on the cryptos. It has graphs you can look at a day, a week, a month, 3 months, a year, 5 years. The graphs go out that longer. You can see how the crypto has gone. And then there's descriptions about the crypto on that site that explains what it is and why it's different, why those people who developed it think it's different. So it's a very, very useful site. But before you jump into something that Elon Musk or Mark Cuban starts touting, in both cases, folks, those cryptos went up, peaked, and crashed. I'm not sure I would say Dogecoin has crashed because it started down in the pennies, went into the 50s or 60s, and now is down in the 30s. But the Titan coin, as I said, went from pennies all the way up to $65, and now is down at less than a penny. So that's just kind of a heads up in the crypto world, and something you need to be aware of, when you're investing in a crypto. I do my due diligence. So far, it's been good. I'm proud of it. Doesn't mean that some I recommend won't go through this. That hasn't happened. I'm delighted. And if you want to follow my recommendations, subscribe to my newsletter, strategicfinancialintelligence.com. strategicfinancialintelligence.com. That said, you need to do your own due diligence on these things. And I guess the warning is to be a little bit repetitive. don't just jump into some crypto because the Mark Cubans of the world or the Elon Musk of the world thinks it's the hottest thing since sliced bread. Because there's a lot of cryptos coming out still, and some of them are unique and some of them are a joke. And you've got to do your homework and your due diligence, and not just jump in because Mark Cuban, who's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, says so. All right, we're going to come back, and that's a major Supreme Court decision that occurred today. When we come back, I'm John Truman Wolfe, and we'll be back right after these messages. Do stay with us.
Now it's time for MedVed's Entertainment Minute.
Johnny Depp and Forrest Whitaker co-star in a true story crime drama about the alleged police corruption surrounding the unsolved 1997 murder of the famous rapper Notorious B.I.G. It's called City of Lies, now playing in theaters and available on various streaming platforms.
The unsolved murder of two young men. You have any suspects? Who shot Biggie Smalls?
Johnny Depp is terrific as the actual police detective, so obsessed with solving this crime that he continues to pursue it long after he's driven from the LAPD. But Forrest Whitaker's character, a largely fictionalized journalist, also drawn into the case, never comes fully into focus, and an inconclusive finale leaves the central mysteries frustratingly unresolved. Plenty of harsh language and brutal, very well-staged action scenes produce an R rating. 2.5 stars for the intriguing and powerfully acted City of Lies.
Attention real estate investors. Do you need cash immediately? If you own one or multiple rental properties, you can use your equity to get cash out fast. The best part is we don't need tax returns or even a good credit score. At America's Loan Source, we are not a bank and we don't have bank rules. We make the decisions to loan you money, and there's no limit how much we can give you. Some clients have gotten as much as $500,000 or more within days. Use the money any way you want. If you own one rental property or 100 and COVID has left you in a cash crunch, we can help you turn your equity into fast cash. Call now for details and close in as little as 10 days and get the cash you need. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. That's 800-353-1760.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm John Truman Wolfe, and this is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. Thanks for joining us. Glad to have you with us. I noticed a news article today which said that the Supreme Court upheld Obamacare for the third time and had been challenged. It was a 7-2 vote, and even the conservatives, some of the conservatives on the court, voted to not go with the state of Texas and others who were challenging the law. And I think even Clarence Thomas and I think Amy Comey Bryant. Anyway, the conservatives were part of the 7-person majority. My problem is it's among the worst laws in the history of the United States. This is a terrible, terrible piece of legislation. There's all kinds of reasons that I say that, and I'm not going to get into them here on this show other than to note the general perspective that it's not the government's business. It's not the government's job to ensure people have insurance. It's not how the country was built. It's not why the United States became the leading nation on the planet. And while that shine is diminishing, it was because there was enough freedom here that people could exercise their God-given rights to work and to produce things and not be constrained by government restrictions, and were self-reliant. I mean, it may sound a little, I don't know, silly to look back at what our ancestors did in the 19th century, coming across this country. I mean, it's unbelievable what these folks did. You know, wagon trains going over the Rockies and the Sierra Nevadas, and I mean, railroads being built across the country. This is long before there was equipment to do that kind of thing. So I'm not trying to wax nostalgic about, what the ancestors did, in the sense that, in a sense, other than it is indicative of what's at the core of the American experience. And what's at the core of the American experience is not big government and big government supporting me, having big government be the answer to all life's problems. No, it doesn't make you self-determined. It doesn't let you exercise your ability to produce and create. If the answer is, pay me, have the government pay you for nothing. There was an interview of Lindsey Graham the other night that I was watching, and he was talking about in the state of South Carolina that the average wage there was I think he said $18 an hour, but that people that were on government welfare were getting $25 an hour. So he's going, well, why in the world, if you're getting $25 an hour to sit at home and play video games, or whatever people do when they sit at home, as opposed to $18 an hour when you go work, why are you going to go to work? And he's right. If you're validating non-production, folks, if you validate non-production, what do you get? More non-production. It's why these I don't want to get into the partisan politics of it, but these cities and states and the federal government are going give. The poor George, poor this segment, that segment, this race, that race. The government basically pays them not to produce. You validate non-production, you get non-production. You validate production, you get more production. It's why not only Donald Trump, but Ronald Reagan and countless presidents before them have had tax plans that lower the taxes and validate the production, people producing things and eating and producing things, and not taking huge hunks of that production away to run a government. The government's become a behemoth, and is directing life in ways that are not healthy for the country. I'm sure you folks have seen it. I presume you've seen it. All right, I'm going to come back, talk a little bit more about that, because it's something that irks me. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'm John Truman Wolfe. This is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour, and we talk about finances. And I've got my nose a little bit into politics right now, and I may continue. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Clay's Cleaning Service has a spotless reputation.
You take care of the windows. Hello, this is Clay.
But his business operations could use a light dusting.
Boy, I had you scheduled for next week. I'll just check here. No, absolutely. We will be there tomorrow.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's been tough talking to my doctor about constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. I finally laid all my symptoms out there and how they keep coming back. She said I may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. We agreed it's time to try something different.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Visit a doctor in person or online. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Let's talk about your credit cards. When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization.
800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
And we're back. John Truman Wolfe here with the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour, the last segment of the show. Just to finish what I was saying, and it's something to keep in mind in terms of life or your job or handling your kids or your family. When you validate non-production, you get more non-production. It seems simple, doesn't it? But it's true. You validate production, you get more production. In San Francisco, the city that has been destroyed basically by the Gavin Newsoms of the world and others, I'm sure you've read the reports. There's all kinds of disgusting activities occurring on the streets. People living outdoors. The streets are lavatories. So what's the city do? They spend $250. I think it was $250 million. The figure may be off a little bit, but that's what I recall. But I think it was $250 million. They build this big new facility so that junkies can go in there and shoot up in comfort. What? That's right. They want to validate people, shooting up, which destroys lives. We get into the dope addiction and so forth in another show. But if you validate non-production, you'll get more of it. So what's going to happen? They're spending hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars ensuring that junkies can shoot up in comfort. They don't have to do it out in the rain or on the street or what have you. These people are brain dead. They don't understand life. They don't understand what makes life go round. And they'll get more drug addiction. They'll get more people coming to San Francisco so that they can go into this new facility and shoot up in comfort. Give me a break. Francisco was hometown. I lived across the bay, but we'd go over there and enjoy some of the great jazz nightclubs, and what a magnificent city it was. And look what they're doing to it by validating non-production. Excuse me. So, lesson for the day. We started the show talking about inflation, and while the precious metals markets have gone down, the secure investment to protect yourself against inflation are precious metals. If you don't own some, I would buy some. I would get some silver, get some gold, stick it in your safe at home. Yesterday's comments by the chairman of the Federal Reserve Board are not the be-all, end-all of the end of the world. Precious metals have been currency for 5,000 years. Jerome Powell, speaking for his, the owners of his bank, the New York Bank, is not the final word on what's going to happen to precious metals. I encourage that. I'm a bigger fan of silver than gold, as those of you who listen to the show know. I think there's more bang for the buck in silver. And I write about this monthly and then publish text versions of this radio show to the subscribers of Strategic Financial Intelligence, which is my newsletter. It is available at strategicfinancialintelligence.com. It's $99 for the year, $2 a week. I think it's a hell of a buy. I'm John Truman Wolfe. This is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour with you every Thursday at 4 o'clock LA time. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.